All right, let's dive into something that's going to sound a little out there, but stick with me. We're going to explore this really wild idea where ancient mysticism and cutting-edge neuroscience are starting to say the exact same thing. That you don't just experience reality, you actually create it.
So, it all kind of starts with this one powerful, almost unbelievable statement from a 20th century mystic named Neville Goddard. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now look, this isn't just some positive thinking mantra. He meant it as a literal instruction, like a command you give to your consciousness. And that's the core idea we're going to unpack today.
So that begs the question, right? Is this just a nice, poetic metaphor for having a good attitude? Or is there a real physical mechanism at play here? I mean, a tangible process that can actually turn an inner feeling into an outer, physical reality? That's what we're going to find out.
Okay, so before we can even get to the science, we've got to wrap our heads around what Goddard was actually proposing with this whole idea. And trust me, it goes way deeper than you might think.
Here's the first major shift in thinking you have to make. Goddard didn't teach a strategy, a list of steps to get something. He taught a state of being. It's not about what you do, it's about who you are. The whole goal is to embody the identity, the feeling of the person who already has the thing you want. It's a total paradigm shift.
And this is where it gets really mind-bending. Goddard's claim was that creation is finished. So think about it like this. Every possible reality, every potential future you could ever imagine, it all already exists. It's already out there. Your job isn't to build a new reality from scratch, but to simply select the one you want to experience by tuning into its frequency, its feeling, its state of being.
I know, that all sounds pretty mystical, right? Like something out of a spiritual text. But what if your own brain is the engine that makes this whole selection process possible? Let's see if we can build a bridge from this mystical idea to the hard science of neurology. Well, it turns out science actually has a name for this. It's called embodied cognition. It's this theory that says your thoughts aren't just these abstract, invisible things floating around in your head. No, they are physically connected to your body, and your body actually influences your mind. So when you act as if, you're not just playing pretend, you are kicking off a very real neurological process. And here is the absolute key. And this comes from the work of neuroscientists like Dr. Joe Dispenza. Your brain, the physical organ in your skull, literally does not know the difference between a real external event and one that you vividly imagine. So when you mentally rehearse a future and you couple that rehearsal with a powerful, intense emotion, your brain just starts changing. It lays down new neural pathways as if the event has already happened.
This is exactly why the emotion is the engine behind all of this. See, according to this model, the universe doesn't respond to your thoughts of wanting something. In fact, the act of wanting is literally broadcasting the frequency of not having it, right? Of lack. The universe, or the quantum field, responds to your state of being, the feeling, the energetic signature of fulfillment itself.
So, what this all boils down to is this. Reality isn't some cosmic vending machine where you put in a request and it gives you what you want. It's a mirror. It's simply reflecting back to you who you are being energetically and emotionally in every single moment.
Okay, so that's the what. But that leads us to the most important practical question of all. If this whole thing is about embodying a new identity, well, how in the world do you actually do that? How do you rewire yourself to become the person for whom your desire is just a normal, natural part of life?
So how does this shift from a mindset into an actual physiological change? Because this isn't just about thinking differently. It's about literally building a new you, starting right inside your brain, with your neurons.
Psychiatrist Daniel Siegel gives us the actual mechanics here. We've all heard that the brain can physically change and reorganize itself. That's neuroplasticity. But what Siegel explains is that by using focused attention, what he calls mindsight, you can actually direct that change. You can intentionally focus on the new state of being, and by doing so, you literally build the physical neural wiring for your new identity.
And what's really fascinating is how the brain gets ready for the future. You have these feedback loops that connect what you sense, how you interpret it, and how you act. Well, by rehearsing your new reality, you're priming these loops. Your brain actually starts to expect this new reality, and it prepares your body to experience it even before it physically shows up. It's pretty amazing.
So let's say you've done the work. You've started to rewire your internal world. How does that actually translate into choosing a different external world, or what some people call a new timeline?
Now, the term quantum jumping might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually a pretty useful metaphor for what's happening. When you fundamentally change your internal world, your core beliefs, your emotional home, your deepest assumptions, you essentially start vibrating at a new frequency. And by doing that, you align with a different potential reality, one where your desire is the natural, logical outcome.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. Your body, now rewired by this new state of being, becomes this powerful transmitter broadcasting a new signal out into the field. And the universe, the field, it doesn't organize around effort or struggle, it organizes around coherence. It organizes around that clear signal. It's all about resonance.
Okay, enough theory. Let's get really practical. Let's put all of this together into a framework that you can actually use. A clear, actionable process to make this work.
So this all comes together in what we can call the assumption loop. Okay, step 1, state first, strategy second. Before you do anything, decide who you need to be when it's already done. Step 2, feel before you see. You have to generate the emotional frequency of your wish fulfilled before you have any evidence. Step 3, practice the identity. You got to mentally rehearse this new state every day until it feels normal. Step 4, observe the feedback. Start looking for the small signs, the synchronicities that confirm the change is happening. And finally, step 5, reinforce with presence. When life knocks you off course, and it will, you just calmly return to your assumption and reinforce your new state.
You know, maybe the most profound way to look at this whole entire process is with this final thought. You're not actually struggling to become someone new. You are simply remembering the future version of yourself that already exists, and you're aligning with them right here, right now.
So, after all this, the power is completely in your hands. If you know that your inner state of being is literally creating your life, then the only question that really matters is this one. Who are you choosing to be? Right now, today.
Thank you for watching. If something in this resonated with you, then you're already closer than you think. If you're ready to go deeper, there's a link below to my book, Quantum Manifestation: How to Collapse Time and Shift Timelines. This isn't theory. It's a framework you can actually use. Tap the link below and step into it.